What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. It is Sunday. It is July 7th, and we are back with another video for you guys. If you're new to the channel, you're in for a treat. Obviously, you've already seen the timestamp of how long this video is, but we go through everything. And what I mean by that, we go through every single game. We look at the pitchers. We look at the batters. We do it all. At the end of the video, we go through simulations. So we have 20,000 simulations a day, normally when the slate lock, when like the majority of the slate locks at nighttime. But we're going to go over the top 10 bats after 10,000 simulations towards the end of this video. And then we're going to go over all of the bats that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. We are also going to go over the top 10 pitchers according to the simulations. Now, we won't always agree with the simulations, but they're there for you as part of the FTA Plus content. It's right here. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Under the MLB tab, a ton of information. So we're going to go with a lot of stuff on this video. If you need a little bit more help outside of what we're going over, check everything out. The projections, the simulation models, Vegas odds, batter splits, matchups via BVP, stolen bases. We have sports betting as well, all for $10 a week. But we have a $30 yearly or monthly pass if you use the promo code YouTube, all one word, all capital letters. You will get, instead of $29.99, you will get your first month for $19.99 using that promo code. We have a yearly pass, $200. If you use the promo code BIRTHDAY, all one word, all capital letters, you will get $100 off that yearly pass. We still have 2 coupon codes left for that. So check it out. We have DFS, and all of these passes are for every sport we offer. So today, we've got MLB, we've got NASCAR. PGA is still going on, and that'll be next week. And MMA is back next weekend as well. So a ton of information for you guys. We have giveaways every single day. 2 ways to win. The first way, just like this video, leave a comment and be a YouTube subscriber. If this video gets at least 50 likes and you've done those, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus. 100 likes on this video is a free month. 150 likes on this video is a free year, and 200 or more likes is a free lifetime pass. The second way to win, somewhere in this video there will be a keyword. Type that keyword in and you have a chance to win twice in the same day. Now, I will admit, completely forgot the keyword yesterday, so that is my bad. Very tired. I'm even more tired today than I was yesterday. Being on the lake all day killed me, but we will have a keyword somewhere in this video. We're having giveaways. We're going to have the keyword somewhere. We're going to break it down for you. So if you've been around with us before, big shout out to you. If you're new to the channel, let me know how you found this channel. Would love to know if it's just recommended on YouTube or you saw someone share it or something like that. But lots of ways to support the channel. Signing up for FTA Plus. Subscribing to this YouTube channel. I know they're annoying, but clicking on the ads on these videos helps way more than you know. Check everything out. Go to the website. So if this video is a little bit too long for you, in the description of this video will be the link to today's article, which will give you about 5 plays at each position that we like. So I had a mixed result bag yesterday. We did it a little bit differently where we gave you like the top 5s at each position. And some people liked it, but then some people liked the game-by-game breakdown with the bats per game breakdown, which I understand because that makes us a little bit different than other providers. So I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go game by game, and the people that like it are going to love it. The people that want to see like the summary of the plays at each position, click the link down below for today's article. So we'll hit both avenues there. We'll get both people there. So that being said, we are going to have a giveaway real quick. Yesterday's video got 116 likes, which is awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. I didn't have reception on the boat, but I looked and I was blown away by the support you guys gave. So we're going to give away right now 1 month pass, and then on top of that, someone. It's probably going to be someone who, and we'll see if it is, if it's someone who's won before. And that's kind of what I wanted to say. You can win every single day up until winning a lifetime pass. So you could just stack the months or the week passes together, and we've had that happen multiple times. So let's see if we have a new person winning, or let's see if we have someone we already know that has won. And all you got to do, hit the bell notification so you get notified when these videos go out, and get your comment in there then so you have a chance to win every day. So the winner of the free month due to 116 likes yesterday is Andrew Martin, 8291. Love the style, much better, makes sense to go slate by slate. So we do go slate by slate regardless, but the difference was the plays at each position. So if you want to see those plays, click the link in the description for today's article. So congratulations, Andrew. Email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. If you have a username on the website, I can't remember if you do. If you don't, let me know a username and an email you would like. So that being said, check out the website. We've got all the games. We're looking at everything. If you want to see ballpark factors, if you want to see projected home runs, if you want to see those, in the description is the Discord. The updated link is in the description or down below. And go check that out. We give out core plays there. We give out some plays we like. People go back and forth on Discord every single day. We're trying to build a community up, especially to get through to NFL season where we are going to absolutely rock and roll. So, that being said, towards the end of this video, we're going to bring back Pitches Be Crazy. People like that. We also have it on here for FanDuel. We're going to cover everything for Sunday because, again, technically there's 2 slates. You got the main slate of 9 games. You got the afternoon slate of 4 games there. So, looking at this, first game of the day, we've got the Mets at the Pirates, Sean Manaea versus Luis L. Ortiz. So coming in, really don't know what he's going to bring to the table any given day. Sean Manaea's 8,200, 3.67 ERA, 5-3 record, 81 strikeouts. He has not faced Pittsburgh this year. He does have a top 5 matchup for teams because Pittsburgh strikes out the 5th most, so we got a new team in this list. And those will be ever-changing once the numbers are so close. But you see, Manaea on the road is a better on the road. 2.82 ERA, 7 starts there. Only 1 home run on the road, 31 strikeouts. He's got a strikeout-prone Pittsburgh team. I do not mind them at all here. I think it is a good matchup for him. If you want to do just pitches be crazy, this game is part of it as well. So this is on here, and we'll talk about it at the end, but you can use him in this lineup here. So we take a look at Luis Ortiz. Usually comes in very up and down for how many innings he's going to pitch. He's usually been there's usually been an opener in front of him, and then he gets multiple innings, but I don't know what to expect out of him. He's already faced the Mets once this year, only 1.2 innings, give up 3 earned runs in there. They just seem to hit him for whatever reason. That, there's not much to go off here. We're obviously not going to go with Ortiz. Manaea for tournaments, I do not mind. Ortiz, I am not using him. I don't think he's going to go deep into games. But if we are looking at Mets bats that have success against righties, so here's the thing. If you've been with us before, you know that Sunday is the day of rest for the Lord and Savior and catchers. So it's normally Thursdays and Sundays are the days that catchers rest a little bit more for whatever reason. It's usually because Saturday they had most likely a night game followed by a day game, and they give them rest. If Francisco Alvarez is in here, I love him. He's batting .313 here on the season versus right-handed pitching with 2 home runs. I would take Pete Alonso. If we're looking at a Mets stack of some sort, I would look at Pete Alonso with 12 home runs, batting .242. Harrison Bader, is he hurt? Is he in? No, he's back. He's very injury prone. He missed 2 games after colliding, but it was a head injury, which, he should be good now. Bader, batting .297 against righties with 4 home runs. I do not mind him at all. Another Mets bat that I would be looking at is against righties. Mark Vientos. I love Mark Vientos. I would look at him. I would obviously be looking at Lindor here. He's got 10 home runs against righties too. So I do not mind a Mets stack here. I do not trust Pittsburgh enough. Pittsburgh bats that have had success against Manaea. Brian Reynolds has a home run. Michael Taylor has a home run. Usually if we're looking at Pittsburgh bats against a lefty, Michael Taylor is in there. He's a cheap option. I don't mind him. Batters that have had success against lefties this year. So let's say you're not going either pitcher and you want to look at bats. Joey Bart, only 20 at-bats, but batting .350. Again, catcher, don't know if he'll be in there. They have 3 catchers on this roster. Henry Davis, but I think he's an outfielder too. And then Yasmani Grandal. A cheap option, I think, for Pittsburgh could be Nick Gonzalez, batting .298 with 2 bombs here. Brian Hayes against a lefty, 60 at-bats, batting .350, 3 home runs. Connor Joe is another lefty killer. We've got Connor Joe, .281 batting average, and 3 home runs as well. And then, again, Michael A. Taylor and Brian Reynolds if you are looking for a stack in this one. Personally, I'm probably not pitching Manaea unless it's the pitches be crazy. It's the pitching option here. I don't know if I'll be pitching him in this game. I think I like the bats just a little bit more than I do pitching in this one. Moving to the next one, you got Cardinals versus the Nationals. You got Kyle Gibson versus DJ Hers. We look at this game. Gibson's one of those pitchers I just don't understand 100%. And I don't know. I can't get a feel for him. Comes in with a 3.89 ERA, so a little bit elevated ERA, 85 strikeouts. Splits-wise, he has not faced Washington this year. Washington's not that good of a team, but we saw what they did yesterday. And then you got Kyle Gibson on the road, does have a better ERA on the road. So he's, all things considered, they look great. Coming off a decent start against Pittsburgh, not so much against Atlanta, but that's Atlanta. Kyle Gibson for tournaments, I'm okay with. I don't hate it. I definitely could see you throwing him in tournaments because of this matchup here. So that's kind of my thought. Looking at some pitching today, it's 8,000 is a cheaper option, not huge, and it makes a little bit of sense if you're looking in that direction. Then we've got DJ Hers, which 7,800, right around the same price point, going up against St. Louis. Another lefty for St. Louis. Coming off a great game against the Mets. Not going to lie. Fantastic game against the Mets. Then a couple of down games. Then had a fantastic 13 strikeout game against Miami. Atlanta really didn't do much. And then New York Mets really didn't do much. So it is a mixed bag. He does come in with a 4.67 ERA. That, again, is kind of skewed a little bit from back-to-back games. He had to play in Colorado where he only gave up 3 earned runs. And then against San Diego, gave up 4 earned runs. Now he goes up against St. Louis. This is one where it just depends on if you're playing tournaments or if you're playing cash day and how many lineups are you playing. That's kind of where we're at when we look at these kind of games, especially on the main slate is the majority of the games on a Sunday. That's where we kind of look into which pitcher do we like, and if not, what bats do we like in those games. So, in theory, the Cardinals have some batters that should be able to dominate left-handed pitching. They have not seen Hers this year. We've got Wilson Contreras, batting .324, 34 at-bats with 2 home runs against left-handed batting. You have Matt Carpenter, doesn't really get into games much, batting .357 and 14 at-bats. Then you would think Nolan Arenado, you would think Goldie. Goldie's batting .267 with 1 home run against lefties. Arenado's batting .266 with 2 home runs. Personally, tournament-wise, I think I kind of like DJ Hers a little bit. Kyle Gibson's the one I don't understand as much, but if we are looking at bats for the Nationals, now I did see they did send down Joe Meneses and they did DFA Nick Senzel. So we've got some batters we don't know as much, but obviously if we are stacking against Kyle Gibson, Lane Thomas is my number one. James Wood, I've got to get James Wood in there. He's still cheaper, relatively cheaper. Riley Adams would be another one, batting .280 with 2 bombs. Keibert Ruiz has 4 home runs. Luis Garcia, .293 batting average with 10 bombs against right-handed pitching. So honestly, I don't mind a national stack here, and I do not mind DJ Hers for tournaments. And again, this is where I'll tell you we're a little bit different than other DFS channels. I'm going to let you know when I'm wrong. I'm not always right, okay? I'm not going to be always right. I will be wrong at some points. So these are just my thoughts. These are what goes through my head when I'm looking at slates and when I'm going to build lineups and stuff like that. So the next game, the Phillies at the Braves, you got Michael Mercado versus Reynaldo Lopez. Lopez, 97 plate appearances, 319 batting average. I see that, but he's here at 9,500. Game log wise, not the best against San Francisco. Kind of a couple of down games, especially at his price. So at 9,500, you're basically overall you're looking at 2.5 times value. So we're looking usually minimum of 20 fantasy points. He's missed that in back-to-back games, but then he's had some good games here. Has not faced Philly this year. They've had his number in the past. I get that. So we look at this game here. This one, I don't know if I'll be using him. Yeah, this one scares me. It's only the second time he's been on regular rest for whatever reason. They haven't skipped his turn or anything like that. Batters. So if we think that Reynaldo Lopez is not going to have a good game, and you want to look at Philly bats, Whit Merrifield, I believe, has the best BVP of the day. 33 at-bats against Reynaldo Lopez, batting .333 with 2 bombs. I don't know if he's even going to be in there. Whit Merrifield would be a cheap option for Philly. Trey Turner would be an option. He's got 1 home run against him. Then just the bats that have success here against right-handed pitching for the Phillies. Alec Bohm batting .314 with 7 bombs. I would look at him. If we are making a Philly stack, he would be in my stack. Trey Turner batting .341 against righties. He's obviously already in my stack. Brandon Marsh batting .296 with 7 bombs. He would be in there. Whit Merrifield's seen him enough. I like those odds there. Then it just depends. A cheap outfield option could be David Dahl. I don't know if he'll be in there. That's kind of what we look at. Bryson Stott might be another one if I'm going a full Philly stack here. Then obviously Mercado. Is this his second start? This would be a third start. Not so much against Detroit. A good game against Chicago, 18.9. He's 7,500. Atlanta is a pretty decent team to be a little bit scared of. Mercado for tournaments at 7,500 because they've never seen him before. I'm okay with that. Hopefully he just goes, deep in the game. At least 5 innings again would be good for him. The Braves overall don't hit righties as well. I mean, Austin Riley, 276 batting average with 8 bombs. Obviously makes sense. Matt Olson, 221 batting average with 6 bombs. Orlando Arcia, 226 batting average, 6 bombs. But Marcell Ozuna, 273 batting average, 18 home runs against righties. So if you think Mercado's not going to do well, those would be the Braves bats that I'd look at. So looking at this, I don't know if I want to pay up for Reynaldo Lopez today. I might fade him, go with the Mercado a little bit, but both sides of the bat, I do not mind here. Tigers at the Reds, you got Tariq Skubal versus Graham Ashcraft. This is Great American Small Park. The wind is blowing directly out. They have the best odds for home runs according to the ballpark factors. If you want to see the charts, they will be in the description of this video. But ballpark factors, the wind is absolutely blowing out, dead center. That scares me a little bit. Now, I completely faded Tariq Skubal his last game. Okay? We have been to the point where we're getting screwed over more than not with taking pitchers that are 10,000 plus. So we look at this. Skubal coming in, 2.45 ERA. I faded him against Minnesota, and it worked out. 18.5 fantasy points, 3 earned runs. So 18.5 is good for some, but when you're over 10,000, you need 22 to 25 minimum on DraftKings there. On FanDuel, you need 45 plus. I get that. He's very expensive. He does get a matchup here against Cincinnati. We look at Cincinnati bats. So on the road, he is a little bit worse, 3.16 ERA. The wind is blowing out. That scares me. I'm probably fading Skubal yet again. Scares me a little. Obviously, we know he's a stud pitcher. 2.45 ERA is great. The wind blowing out definitely scares the hell out of me. And his price, I'm probably going to fade Skubal today, especially since it's on the main slate. You've got 9 games to look at. We should be good. If we are looking at Cincinnati bats with win factor and BVP and everything and who does well against right-handed pitching, Tyler Stevenson, if he's in there, usually we like to take him against lefties. 246 batting average, 3 home runs. Ellie De La Cruz has 4 home runs against there. Stuart Fairchild bat 308 against lefties with 4 bombs. Jonathan India batting 299 with a home run. I don't mind a Cincinnati stack here. I'm not scared of that at all. Then we got Graham Ashcraft coming in. Now, his last start came against the Yankees. Game log wise, 11.7, not much. Gets a matchup against Detroit. The only person that's seen him is Zach McKinstry batting 167. But the batters for Detroit that dominate lefties, or hit well against righties, we should say. If we're looking at stacking, Colt Keith would be on the top of my list for Detroit. Riley Green would be my second one. Batting 289 with 13 bombs against righties. With this wind, if you get a hold of the ball, it could fly out of there. So Colt Keith, Riley Green would be 2 that I look at. I don't mind Parker Meadows. I'd be a cheap option there if you are trying to stack the Tigers here. Depending on how you want to finish this, Matt Vierling, I don't mind. He's got 9 bombs against righties. He would be my next one. That might be it. I might not have a full slate of Detroit bats here. So pitching, I'm not using. I'm using bats in both of these in this game for both of these teams. I'm avoiding the pitching because of what the weather's doing. Then we got the Giants at the Guardians. You got Hayden Birdsong versus Carlos Carrasco. They're close to each other. So Carrasco 6,300, 5.21 ERA. A decent game against the White Sox, but that's the White Sox. A decent game against Toronto, but he has been hit pretty hard overall this year. Has not faced San Francisco this year. We know that. Pitching at home, does have a 4.55 ERA. It's a better ERA than on the road, but it's still 4.55. I don't trust him enough. I am avoiding him 100%. Then we got Birdsong. We've used him one time. We used him against Atlanta because he was so cheap. They have bumped his price up, though. And Cleveland's a really good hitting team. We know that. They've already shown that. I'm probably avoiding the pitching in this game. I'm looking at bats. You've got, just depending, if we look at trying to stack the Giants, Tyler Fitzgerald is a cheap option, outfield option. Game log wise, coming off a good game already yesterday, 3,400. He is 3,700 now, but he is a cheap option that he should go under-owned. 33 at-bats against right-handed pitching so far this year, 303 batting average with a bomb. I would look at him. Obviously, Lamont Wade Jr., batting 311, 3 bombs. I would look at him. Patrick Bailey, if he's in there, I don't mind, but I don't know if he's going to be in there on a Sunday. Austin Slater, 286 batting average. I would look at him. Michael Conforto, I would look at him as well. So I do not mind that, but I am more on the Cleveland side than I am San Francisco. So I'm going to stack Cleveland a little bit more. We've got Josh Naylor, 16 bombs against righties. I'm looking at Josh Naylor. I love Josh Naylor here. I love Jose Ramirez. Those are the top 2. Obviously, they're very expensive. But then you got to find those other batters if you're stacking here for 3 more batters. Steven Kwan's been absolutely on fire. He's batting 340. Here's what's wild. He's batting 345 against right-handed pitching, which is lower than his season. So his season is 365 batting average with 9 bombs. I am looking at Steven Kwan, Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor. We need 2 more to kind of fill out a 5-game slate. Andres Jimenez, 4 home runs. I do not mind Andres Jimenez. If you want to get even cheaper, David Fry, if he's in there, I do not mind David Fry. So this game, I'm not using pitching. I'm using the bats. I love the Guardians bats a little bit more, but I will have a little bit of the Giants bats just because of how bad Carrasco's been. You got the White Sox and the Marlins. Jonathan Cannon versus to be announced, and I did see they believe it's going to be Edward Cabrera, right? Is he coming off the IL? He could be. We don't know. That's the problem. We're just going to skip this game because I don't know if it's going to be him. He last pitched May 7th at the Dodgers, gave up 4 earned runs before he got hurt, wasn't going deep into games. We don't know if it's going to be him yet. So depending on when you watch this video, maybe he's already out there and good to go, but we don't know. And then Jonathan Cannon, we've used him one time, I believe. We used him when he faced Seattle because they strike out the most. But he hasn't really done much either here, and Miami could hit. Again, though, I'm probably avoiding this game. Probably not looking at bats in this one, and I don't know if it's going to be Cabrera or not. So we will just skip this game for now. If and when it's confirmed who the pitcher is, then we'll update the ballpark factor, or we'll update all of the projections, stuff like that, just to get that out on there. Okay, so the next game is the Astros at the Twins. You got Spencer, Mr. Spaghetti versus Simeon Woods Richardson. Spaghetti boy here, 6.13 ERA, so it is up there. Coming off a terrible start against Toronto after a fantastic start against Colorado. I believe we used Arrighetti, and this is where I'll tell you I was wrong. I think in one of our lineups we used Arrighetti. 6 earned runs in 4 innings is not going to do it. Minnesota can hit. We know that. He has not faced them this year. So the unfamiliarity of this, you could use it to your advantage. But again, he still has a 6.13 ERA. I'm avoiding Spaghetti Boy here. And then Woods Richardson, 3.52 ERA. We used him against Detroit because it was a good matchup. He only gave up 3 earned runs, but the walks killed us with 2 walks, giving us less points with 4 Ks. Just, he hasn't, he's averaging less than what we need for his price right now. So I'm probably out on both of these pitchers. I'd probably be looking at just the bats. I do know that Jordan left the game yesterday after getting hit on the knee. I would not be surprised if he is out of this game here. That's a huge bat for Houston, out. But if we look at the bats, the players that have had success or against righties or Simeon Woods Richardson, we do know Bregman does have 1 home run against him in his career, and he's also batting .269 against righties, so he hits righties better this year. John Singleton would be a cheaper option with 6 bombs here. Loperfido, if he's in there, 286 batting average, do not mind him. And I believe Altuve left the game Friday. We could see Altuve being out and Jordan being out, so Mauricio Dubon in place of Altuve. I do not mind him. Chas McCormick is an option I could look at, or even, depending, you could look at Yainer Diaz here, 284 batting average with 5 bombs against right-handed pitching. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. And then we got the Angels at the Cubs. Jose Soriano versus Hayden Wesneski. So Soriano coming in. Let's see. This be his second start after coming off the IL, right? Yeah. He went up against Oakland, which was a fantastic matchup for him because they strike out the most, or they did at the time, or the second most, and he only got 4 Ks, gave up 4 earned runs against an Oakland team. That's not a very good team. Now he goes into Chicago. Just looking at the ballpark factors for Chicago, let's see. Winds blowing directly out in Chicago. I do not like Soriano. Wesneski, I really don't like Wesneski either. I'm avoiding the pitching in this one. I am looking at the bats only just because of the weather, and the pitching matchup's not that great. So, they've seen Wesneski a little bit, so 9 plate appearances, not much. But the batters that have success against right-handed pitching this year, Logan O'Hoppe with 9 bombs, batting .303, he is in there. I think he had a home run yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I was on the lake. I don't know. You've got Willie Calhoun. I don't know if he's going to be in there, but batting .282 with 2 bombs. I do not mind him. Nolan Schanuel batting .259 with 7 home runs against right-handed pitching. I like that matchup for him as well. Depending on who's in here, Zach Neto, 10 home runs against right-handed pitching. I do not mind. And then Taylor Ward would be another one that I'd look at. So those would be the Angels bats that I'd look at. But the Cubs bats, they really haven't seen Soriano much. 5 plate appearances, obviously not enough. But if we are looking at this, David Bodie, I don't know if he's going to be in there, but I would look at David Bodie. I would look at Chris Morel with 11 bombs against righties with this wind blowing out. I would look at Seiya Suzuki. I love Suzuki today. He would be my third. Fourth, if we're looking, maybe Dansby Swanson. And then Cody Bellinger would probably round out a 5-man stack if we're stacking here on DraftKings. So I don't want pitching. I want the bats for sure. Then the final game here on this main slate is Tampa Bay Rays at Texas. You've got Zach Littell versus Nate Eovaldi. We have avoided Littell almost all year in at least DFS. We did use him in the Pitches Be Crazy. But Littell going up against Texas, 394 batting average, is coming off a good stretch of a couple of games here. Splits-wise, he has not faced Texas this year. We look at him on the road. It's got a 4.46 ERA, and it's Texas. I'm probably avoiding Littell. You've got Eovaldi, though, at 9,000. 3.15 ERA, has faced Tampa Bay once this year. 7 innings, got the dub. Had 8 strikeouts. Tampa Bay's, they're offensively not a good team this year. I'm avoiding Tampa Bay bats. I'm looking at Eovaldi, and I'm looking at Texas bats. So, Andrew Kisner, 1 home run. I don't know if he'll start. Leota Taveras, 1 for 1 with 1 home run against him. But if we're looking at bats here against right-handed pitching against Littell, Jonah Heim batting 240. Did have the day off on Saturday. I think it was just a regular day's rest. He should be back. That would be one I'd look at. Corey Seager batting 281 with 11 bombs. I would look at him. Adolis Garcia I would look at, and Leody Taveras. And then obviously always Wyatt Langford. Did have a quiet day yesterday, but I'm okay with Eovaldi here for sure. Eovaldi and the Rangers bats are where I'm going in this game and not looking back. Then this is the game that's not on the slate, right? Yeah. So this game's not on the DraftKings slate. It's in Coors. Brady Singer's been up and down. For if you're looking at sports betting and you're looking at like prop bets and stuff, Brady Singer would be one for that. I wouldn't use him in DFS, and he's not there, so we're not going to cover this game. But sports betting, strikeouts, pitches be crazy, all of that is combined. And you guys know where this is going. The sponsor of this video and the videos moving forward is Outlier.Bet. Outlier, if you've been here before, they are our new sponsor. They curate basically 5 to 10 different websites, all of the information you'd be looking for. So you're looking for different bets, you're looking for different markets, you're looking for different sports. Currently, the sports MLB and WNBA are there. You can look at the insights, like Jarren Duran has failed to exceed over 0.5 walks in 14 of his last 16 games, so he just doesn't walk. He either gets out, gets a hit, or strikes out. Those are just at the top. Then they give you the odds, the best odds. So they curate all of the best odds. They show you which websites they are on. So you can also see popular trending parlays for like Fanduel at plus 1227. Devers over 1.5 bases. Duran over 1.5 bases. Judge over 1.5 bases. Juan Soto over 1.5 bases. You can see how many times they've hit in the last 10 games. You can see everything. You can break down game by game. So let's say you wanted to break down this Colorado game, Kansas City at Colorado game. So we look at this. You can look at the runs. You can look at the player props. You get into the player props. If you have certain players that you want to focus in on the day, let's say we want Bobby Witt Jr. in Coors. Hits. Over half a hit, minus 650. So 1 plus hit, minus 650 on FanDuel. 2 hits, minus 125. 3 hits, plus 320. You can check that out. You can look at the matchups. You can look at the starting pitching, what their records are, their injuries, the insights into the game. You can check it all. Team props, game props, everything. Over-unders. They've got it all. Outlier.bet. You can check them out on the website app.outlier.bet. You can download it over on the App Store. If you use the link in the description of this video, it's right down here. Click the Outlier link. Sign up. They give you a 7-day free trial. There are 2 different monthly passes that they have. Go check them out. If you sign up and get the 7-day free trial, and then you purchase a full package, either one of those packages, after the 7-day free trial, and they've helped you out, we are going to give you a free month of FTA Plus. That is a month of every single sport, sports betting, and DFS combined for free for using our links, as they are the exclusive sponsor of FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. So, in my instance, this is what we're going to look at real quick. I've got props. I want to go with, my favorite is pitches be crazy, Jose Barrios at Seattle. Seattle strikes out the most. So, I am going to go here. I'm going to go to Barrios. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to apply. I'm going to look at strikeouts. So, for instance, I'm going to look at his strikeouts, what the numbers are. Over 5.5, you can see minus 122 on Fanduel, minus 130 on DraftKings, 133 on Caesar. So it shows you which odds you get as the best odds here. So obviously Fanduel, they've got some great odds. Over 5.5, which if you look at this, Seattle strikes out 10.29 times per game on average this year, 11.67 over their last 3, and 11 strikeouts in their last game. And at home, they strike out more at 10.45. So this just feels like a steal with Barrios here at over 5.5. I would even tease it maybe to over 7.5. So if you do look at that, those are just different ways to use Outlier. You've got arbitrage. They show you which websites have the best boosts, which is awesome. So ESPN.Bet. You can look at that. Bregman and Adolis Garcia and Santander and Jackson Merrill and Ben Rice, each to record a hit. So, sometimes you like these odds, sometimes you do not. So that is where we are at here. We have a ton of great options. Outlier, love Outlier. Check them out. Sign up using our link. Get a full package for the month. Get a free FTA Plus monthly package as well. So, that being said, Brady Singer is one of the top 5 pitchers for the pitches be crazy, which we will talk about towards the end, but we cannot play this in DFS because it's one of those that weird times start and then it's not in there. So we're going to go over the next 4 games on the afternoon slate right now. And speaking of the one of the best options for pitching, Grayson Rodriguez in Oakland against Oakland is one of the ones that I want to look at. So Grayson Rodriguez, 3.45 ERA. We used him his last start because it was Seattle, right? Yeah. Struck out 8 in that game, got 30.7. Back-to-back good games here after a bad game against Houston. I'm looking at Rodriguez. I am not looking at Oakland bats. I am looking at Baltimore bats. I do not want anything to do with Oakland bats today. If you do, I completely understand because, you want to go against the grain and they're a team that no one would be on. So Baltimore bats going up against Mitch Spence, I want nothing to do with. But I do want Gunnar Henderson batting 307 against lefties or against righties with 22 bombs. Ryan O'Hearn batting 287 with 11 bombs. Jordan Westburg batting 299 against right-handed pitching with 10 bombs. Those are the top 3 that I would look at. A cheaper option could be Cedric Mullins, if you're looking at that, or Colton Cowser for a Adley Rushman obviously makes sense as well, but he's only batting 232 against right-handed pitching with 9 bombs. So I love a full Baltimore stack today. I do not want Oakland. I do not want their pitching, and I love Grayson Rodriguez today. Next game, Diamondbacks at the Padres. Ryan Nelson versus Dylan Cease. So we look at this. We've got Ryan Nelson down here, 5.43 ERA. Just faced the Dodgers his last start. 11.1, didn't really do much. Had 3 strikeouts, but gave up 1 earned run and 1 walk. So he's not on my radar that I love. He's facing San Diego, which he's already faced twice this year, giving up 10 runs, 9 of them earned, 2 home runs. I want nothing to do with Ryan Nelson. I want the Padres bats in this one. And then you got Dylan Cease, 4.24 ERA. So his ERA has climbed up a little bit. He's already faced them once this year, got the W, 6.2 innings. 1.35 ERA, and this is a pitcher's park. In this matchup, I want Dylan Cease, and I want the Padres bats. I do not want Arizona bats. I don't trust them enough today. San Diego against, Cronenworth has a home run, Hassan Kim has a home run, Manny Machado has a home run, and Jackson Merrill have a home run. I would use them for those, and then what I would look at is I would look at Luis Ariz, for sure. He's in my lineup if I'm making a full stack. And that might be it. Like, there's not a ton that I love. Jackson Merrill batting 326 against righties, I love. He's my number 2. Number 1 I want in there is Luis Ariz. So those 2. I want Machado and I want Ha-Sung Kim. And then I do want Cronenworth in there to make the 5 batter. So I will be looking at Dylan Cease, and I will be looking at the Padres as a stack in this 4-game afternoon slate. Then you get the Blue Jays at the Mariners next. Barrios versus George Kirby. Honestly, I don't think I like the bats in this one. I'd rather have pitching. Barrios, I love Barrios in this one. We already talked about that. He has a good matchup. They strike out. He's already faced them once this year. Had 6 strikeouts. Got the W in 6.2 innings. Coming off a bad start against Houston. He's had a few bad starts lately. Bad start against Houston. Really good start against the Yankees. And then a couple of bad starts against Cleveland. So tournaments, Barrios, I'm okay with because Seattle, they strike out the most. And then George Kirby coming in, 3.15 ERA. Not the best start against Baltimore, but not bad. He only gave up 2 earned runs. He's already faced Toronto this year and actually got lit up by them. 5 earned runs. So that one a little weary on. I won't lie. So we're in here. But the keyword of the day before I forget is wakeboard. Because I tried to yesterday. I did not get up on the board. I almost got up on the board. But it went under the water and I could not pop up. But my forearms, from getting pulled on the rope only 4 times yesterday, they're burning. They're absolutely burning. I had struggle bus to get the cooler from the car up the 4 steps into the house. I could not lift it. And then we played the bucket golf, which I did really well in. But swinging a golf club at nighttime after being on the lake all day, not the best. Had fun. Probably the last time we're going to have fun for the year after the baby comes in 11 days. But yeah, wild. Wakeboard, keyword. I cannot explain to you how bad my forearms are just done right now. So hopefully I can have a good day. We don't know. But speaking of having the baby, anyone who signs up for FTA Plus, the D-Day is the 18th, which is a Thursday. Most likely I'll have a video out for that day. Maybe. We'll see. Actually, no, I won't because we'll be busy the day before. So there'll be no video the 17th, probably 18th, 9th, that whole weekend. So hopefully it doesn't screw up with the algorithm on YouTube, which maybe it does. Hopefully it doesn't, but being off that many days, I could see it. If you do have FTA Plus, once your subscription runs out, whenever it is, we will add however many days to the end of it if I don't have content out that day or those days. I won't have videos, I know that, but if I can, we'll see. Maybe I'll pump out some content for you guys. If not, I might have the weekend to see my new baby and then come back refreshed and help you guys out. So that is just an idea because that is, well, you know what? Give me a second. Actually, you know what? Give me 1 second. Okay, so the 18th, 17th, and 18th are the All-Star break. The games the week before. So, okay, that's what I kind of thought. So, 19th, 20th, and 21st, there'll probably be no videos that weekend. But I will be back hopefully the 22nd. So a couple of days you won't miss anything because there isn't any content to be put out. It's just the All-Star game. So I'm okay on that a little bit. But yeah, so that's coming up. I just wanted to give you guys that information there. So back to what we're talking about. We're talking about this Toronto game against Kirby if we're looking at stacking any Toronto bats. Vladdy batting 298 with 10 bombs. He's obviously the number 1 in this lineup that I would use. Alejandro Kirk might be there, but again, it's Sunday. I don't know if he'll be hitting. Bo Bichette batting 242 against right-handed pitching this year with 4 bombs. I don't mind him. He's cheaper because he's struggled overall. I would definitely look at him. Davis Schneider batting with 7 bombs against righties. I would look at him as well. Those would probably be the bats. Like, I don't. Spencer Horwitz is another one, batting 302 with 3 bombs. I do not mind them against Kirby. I don't want any of the Mariners bats. I do want Barrios and maybe the Toronto bats a little bit, and I'm okay with that. Then we've got the Brewers at the Dodgers. You got Dallas Keuchel versus to be announced. I don't know why it's to be announced for the Dodgers. It's going to be Robleski. 306 batting average in. Yeah, so I'm not looking at him. And then you've got Dallas Keuchel going up against this Dodgers team, which is wild because Keuchel went into Colorado. Keuchel for tournaments at 5,000 because he's supposed to get lit up and the Dodgers are supposed to hit him hard. I don't mind, but I fully expect the Dodgers to hit him hard. And then Robleski, I don't trust him. I'd rather probably take the bats in this one over pitching, and that's pretty apparent. But if we are looking, I would be looking at William Contreras. I would be looking at Willy Adames, Rhys Hoskins, Bryce Terang, Jackson Chirios, and Christian Yelich. Some form of those pitchers or batters against Robleski. And then the flip side, the Dodgers against Keuchel. Will Smith has been absolutely on a tear right now. I would look at Will Smith. I would look at Freddie Freeman. I don't care if it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup there. I would be looking at Miguel Vargas if he's in there. I don't mind him. Ohtani obviously makes a lot of sense as well. So Keuchel for tournaments, because he's 5,000, he'll allow you to do anything if you want to match him with Rodriguez or Cease or Barrios or Kirby. I'm okay with. This afternoon slate, I'm not using Ryan Nelson. I'm not using Mitch Spence. You could throw in Robleski because he's never seen him before, but I'm probably not using him. And then I'm probably not using Kirby. So in this afternoon slate, it's Cease, Rodriguez, Barrios, and I'm throwing Dallas Keuchel in there because he is so cheap. And that's it. That's the game. We've got the Sunday Night Baseball game, the Red Sox at the Yankees, right there. It's not on the main slate. If you want to, maybe what I'll do is I will do a Sunday Night Baseball Showdown video. So it won't be part of this video. It'll be a separate video real quick. We'll get that done. You know what? No, let's just cover it real quick because it is a Sunday night game. People want to see it and hear about it, which I completely understand. Instead of a separate video today, but we've got Cutter Crawford versus Luis Gil. So Crawford coming in 4-7 record, 347 earned runs per game, so right around there. But the matchup, he's already faced the Yankees once this year. 4.5 runs per 9, what he's given up. 6 innings he pitched against them. Did have strikeouts per 9 were 13.5. So Cutter Crawford coming in. Depends on what we're going to get out of him. But Yankees bats against him. Obviously, Ben Rice absolutely murdered it yesterday. I saw a comment. I turned someone on to Ben Rice the other day. Someone said they 30 times their money. So hopefully you guys dominated. I did not get any lineups in. I didn't get anything in yesterday. I did the video. Then we went to the lake. Or I did all the content. And then we went to the lake. But Ben Rice, I know. Hopefully he plays. Leading off is amazing. 3 bombs yesterday was awesome. Ben Rice is in play for me. Hopefully he's leading off here. Judge is in play for me. Those are the top 2. DJ LeMahieu came through yesterday, started hitting. Glaber's probably still out again, so it's Oswaldo Cabrera that I don't mind. Verdugo had a pretty good game yesterday as well. Juan Soto didn't 0 for 5, but he would be the bats that I would look at here. Obviously, with a showdown, you need both pitchers pretty much. I could see Crawford being the MVP because the Yankees are striking out. You could get the points for the MVP, but you could also have the bats as well. Now, Luis Gil has struggled this year. He's already dominated the Red Sox his last start, but he has been hit kind of hard. The bats that I would look at in this would be Devers, for sure. David Hamilton would be one. Jarren Duran would be another one against Gil. It just depends on which Luis Gil we're going to get. Are we going to get the one who was leading Cy Young early, or are we going to get the one who struggled a little bit lately? But looking at that, those would be the bats I'd look at. Depending on the lineup that comes out, Connor Wong batting 307 against righties too. I do not mind. And anyone who's had success, no home runs against him this year so far. But yeah, I would mainly focus on both pitchers and then finding some of these cheap bats. Depending on which cheap bats are going to be in there, we kind of see. Ben Rice would have been cheap up until yesterday's game. But then if we look at like a showdown real quick, let's just look at the showdown. Where's Ben Rice? Is he still cheap? 7,500. He's not bad. I think a lot of people are going to put Ben Rice into your captain spot, 100%. But like if you did Crawford, then Luis Heel, then Rice, then 5,500. It's gonna be hard because you want to put in like an Aaron Judge, but then you're averaging 3,400. Jahmai Jones might be in there for Oswaldo Cabrera would be a cheap option, and that allows you 3,500 or so. So Grisham, if he's in there, probably is going to be in there, be a cheap option there. But you want a Boston bat is the thing. Bobby Dahlback. Yeah, he's not even. Yeah, they put him down. He's not even up there. So it's going to be kind of hard to go that way. So if we took Judge out, we had Cabrera in there. That's 6,600 average. You need a Boston bat. Let's go Connor Wong. And then 6,300, Yoshida, I don't mind. Reese McGuire, if he's in there, I do not mind. Austin Wells, so you go Austin Wells. If you want to go that way, you could go a Boston bat of Yoshida in there, and like that would be a way to do it. So Showdown's a little bit different. If you've never played it before, basically you pretty much need to have both pitchers at some form. Most likely one of the pitchers needs to be a captain spot or MVP spot, and that's kind of how it is. So that's the breakdown of the showdown. So we had the slates, we had the showdown breakdown. Now it's time for Pitches Be Crazy. Now again, this is a long video, I get that, but there's a ton of information. We are trying to make you better DFS players. So if we're looking at Pitches Be Crazy, we have a total of 9 games we can look at, this main slate. If we go by the top ones, so in theory, these are the top 5. You can't use them here, but the sports betting. Jose Barrios at Seattle has the best matchup for strikeouts. Number 2 is Grayson Rodriguez at Oakland. Number 3 is Luis Heel versus Boston. Number 4 is Brady Singer at Colorado. And number 5 is Sean Manaea at Pittsburgh. Now, we can't use, there's a ton we can't use. Most of them are not on this slate, which is wild. So it depends on what you want to use. Some people just go through here and they look at Tariq Skubal 7, DJ Hers 6, blah, 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 blah. So if you were to go this way, Tariq Skubal being the top here, Cincinnati strikes out 8.98 times per game, 11 last game over their last 3, 13 their last game, and at home 8.69. Now the problem is the wind is blowing out. If that affects anything, he might be pulled early. I get that. So then it comes down to which pitchers you like. I mean, Sean Manaea makes the list. Skubal I'll take, and then you could look at DJ Hers because of what St. Louis has done. So that's just kind of a way to go. This isn't the best day for it. I think kind of pay attention. Not the best day for Pitches Be Crazy. I will put it that way. So again, check out the website. Check everything out. Now we have the top 10 bats after 10,000 simulations. So number 1, Shohei Ohtani. Number 2, Bobby Witt Jr. Number 3, Aaron Judge. Number 4, Juan Soto. 5, Salvi Perez. 6, Vinny Pasquantino. 7, Ryan McMahon. 8, Will Smith. 9, Nick Loftin. And number 10 is Bryson Stott. Then we look at all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. Not very many today, guys. 1, Ohtani. 2, Juan Soto. 3, Will Smith. 4, Freddie Freeman. 5, Jake Cronenworth. 6, Jason Hayward. 7 is Jordan, but I don't know if he'll be in there. And number 8 is Andy Pajes going up against Dallas Keuchel. So I do like a Dodger stack against Keuchel, and so do simulations. And then if we look at the top 10 pitchers overall for the day, Grayson Rodriguez, Dylan Cease is 2, 3 is George Kirby, 4 is DJ Hers, 5 Tariq Skubal, 6 Nate Eovaldi, 7 Spencer Arrighetti, 8 Sean Manaea, 9 Jose Soriano, and 10 is Luis Gil. Now, these simulations are just computer simulations. We get that. I don't agree with all of them. I'm not playing Spencer Arrighetti. I'm not playing Jose Soriano in those. I don't like those at all. Tariq Skubal one scares me because of what the weather is doing. So just other odds, other options that you guys have. All of this that we've talked about is on the website under the MLB tab. So definitely go check that out. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, get those down below. Get those in the Discord. We are here for you. So good luck on this day. Almost an hour breakdown for you on this Sunday. Let's have a day. Let's have a fantastic day. Let me know how you did yesterday. Good luck, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.